Yes. Morning. About to ring the bell. I have you down for invocation today? Okay, great. Okay.
I've got a dozen bottles of wine.
Okay. Okay.
I've done it before.
Right. Do you want to do it for wine to water or just for an auction?
Yeah, I want to use it as a fundraiser.
Sure.
One batch I donated raised $300, and another raised $400, which is a golf body. Of course, that's one batch. Do we have anything coming up that might
Do you want to circle with Janice Lenke? Because maybe you could tie this to our current fundraiser. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and if not that, then we'll find something else to do it with.
One of our lovely Rotarians dropped their top of their glasses case, so maybe you can return that and find them.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
These were also left behind at the Alpine picnic.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me, I can make an announcement. Sean
Yeah.
gave it to me this morning.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. For this Rotary year, Rotary International President Barry Rassin asked us to be people of action and to be the inspiration. This club's continuing mission to teach youth to succeed through literacy, education, of the best Rotary Club in the world. As we always do at this time, those of you who have your cell phones with you and are on Facebook, I ask that you open up your app and share our live video feed with the rest of the world. On this day in history in 1780, American General Horatio Gates suffered a humiliating defeat at the Battle of Camden, South Carolina. In 1864, Confederate General John Chambliss is killed during a cavalry charge at Deep Bottom, Virginia, which is part of the sieges of Petersburg. In 1841, President John Tyler is burned in effigy outside the White House. That may happen sometime soon. In 1948, Babe Ruth passed away from cancer. In 1958, Madonna was born. In 1977, Elvis Presley passed away. In 1984, auto executive John DeLorean was cleared of his drug trafficking case by being found not guilty due to entrapment. And today, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, lost her battle with pancreatic cancer. Just so you know, in Alaska, it is illegal.
Please join me in prayer. God and Father, we thank you for our food and for our Rotary Fellowship. And we pray that at the end of our time together today, we may depart nourished in spirit as well as in body, strengthened in our Rotary ideals, broadened in our horizons, and with a deepened resolve to contribute more worthily to the advancement of our community and our country, and to greater understanding and friendship among men. Amen.
Thank you. Bob Werner is going to come lead us in song today.
Let's do God Bless America with gusto. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Thank you. Please be seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Jamie Goldsmith. We are ready for introductions, and as we always do, please hold all of our applause until we're done introducing everybody. Do we have international Rotarians today? None. Okay. Visiting Rotarians, if you could please raise your hands.
Greg Townsend from the Summerlin Rotary Club.
Other visiting Rotarians.
Renee Gamero from the Monterey, California Club.
Welcome.
Paul Workman, always from the Summerlin, also with Greg from the Summerlin Club. Whenever we meet in a rough part of town, we like to come in a pack.
Welcome. Other visiting Rotarians. Oh, we have one checking in right now.
Green Valley.
Green Valley, welcome. Do we have other visiting Rotarians? How about guests of Rotarians?
Val Hatley and his wife Barbara. Val was here last week, and he liked us so much he thought he'd introduce his wife to us, and vice versa. So welcome. And then we also have John Curry that is moving from Seattle to this area. And so John came to see what Rotary's all about, and he's another guest today. So welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, I have two guests here at my table with me and one afar, which is Renee Gamero from another Rotary Club looking to transfer. And then we have Chase Carter from St. Jude's Research Hospital. He's their market director, just relocated to Las Vegas. And we have Pedro Sosa with Global Lighting Technologies.
Welcome.
Welcome.
From Spain. Well, welcome. That's a long ways to come.
I have with me today my grandson Lucas Clark from Olympia, Washington.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone. My guest today is Ginger Allen, who I just learned was in Rotary in Florida, but she is the president-elect of the Clark County Medical Society Alliance.
Welcome. Do we have other guests of Rotarians? Okay, at this time, please welcome everyone with a warm round of applause. I'd like to introduce the head table today. Seated directly across from me is Ginger Anderson. Ginger is a native Nevadan. She's living in small towns, sometimes referred to as cow country during her early years. She loves dogs. She has a wonderful 75-pound pet Doberman who thinks she's a lap dog. And she's a dyed-in-the-wool 49ers fan. My condolences. Her heroes are Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Dwight Clark. Seated to her right and my left is Melanie Muldowney, who likes lighthouses. Her favorite color is gray, and believe it or not, she's allergic to tattoos. Our speaker is Frank Mack from the Utier Shakespeare Festival, and he'll be more formally introduced by Ginger Anderson in a few moments. I'd like to take a few moments today to thank the Rotarians who helped out. Setup was Tony Kern and Chan Lam. Greeters were Chan Lam and Carrie Groh. Tickets were John and Jemmy and Marie Walsh. The invocation was by Blake Myers. Song leader was Bob Warner. Jamie Goldsmith is our Sergeant-at-Arms. Jim Tucker is our photographer. And the teardown is Michael Williams and Jamel Surratt. At this time, if I could invite Glenn Meyer to the front for an announcement.
Thank you, President Jim. I think it's a little ironic that it was Steve Dixon who thought that my announcement was going to be, hey, I showed up. But actually, I have some sad news that I have to share. I got a call earlier today from Francesca Gilbert, and very suddenly, earlier this week, her husband passed away, Richard. Yeah. I know that the thought that's running through people's minds right now is, what can I do? That was the question that I asked Francesca. She has no answer for that right now. They are still figuring out what they're going to do in terms of arrangements. So really the best thing I think we can all do to support Francesca at this time is just keep her in our thoughts and send those good thoughts and prayers out to her, and just be ready if you hear anything about further support that's needed. So thank you all very much. I'm sorry that this was the news I had to pass on.
Thank you for sharing. And of course, as soon as we hear something, Sean Edwards will send a blast email out to the club to let us know what's going on with that. At this time, I'd like to invite Jim Yee and Pigs for Kids to the front, please, for a check presentation. Is the chairman of Rotary Club to present
Howard and Howard for this. With these three organizations with childhood cancer. Here in the Las Vegas area that have to deal with some very terrible, sad news, but it's also nice to know that there's a partnership out there waiting for you to help escort you through your journey. And today, my daughter is now 14 years old, a phenomenal student at Faith Lutheran High School, and a survivor. So thank you again very much for all your support. Jim, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all the work you're doing in the community. We greatly appreciate it. Could you, Jamie, could you take the microphone to Greg Townsend? That was pretty easy.
I would.
Thank you. I'm Greg Townsend from the Summerlin Rotary Club, but Summerlin is not why I'm here. I am here for Southern Nevada Rotary and the Safety Officers Award recognition. SOAR. And once a year we have a SOAR meeting, a get-together, a major event in this town with 200 to 300 of our first responders. It is held at City Hall. It will be on September 17th. Light refreshments at 8 to 9, and at 9 o'clock we will be introduced to some of the greatest heroes in our valley. And there will be nothing more embarrassing than them to outnumber us Rotarians. It has happened occasionally. It will not happen this year with your guys' support. Be there. We need Rotary butt seats, I guess is what I'm asking. We've already taken a little of your money. As a club, you help support us. There is an opportunity for you as individuals, as business people and owners to be in our program and to be a sponsor. And you can see Jamie for that, or you can see Aaron for that, or you can see Captain Kirk for that. And I don't know who else I'm missing, but those are 4 of the folks in our clubs, in our SOAR committee. And so you are well represented as a club for a Southern Nevada program that is just fantastic. If you haven't seen it, be there. If you've seen it, be there again. We really, really need you there. September 17th, 8 to 9 o'clock, City Hall, downtown, or City Hall at 450 Main, I think it is. So please, we need you. My Vanna.
Thank you. Will you take the microphone over to Paul Workman, please? Over there.
Paul Workman, also from the Summerlin Club. This visit is representing the Summerlin Club. We are going to have our Harvest Wine Festival this year on Tuesday, October 9th. I have tickets to it for the raffle or for the festival. They're the same thing, $25 each or 5 for $100. And this time, instead of having 50 bottles of wine for the first prize and then 25 and so on, we're going to have much more expensive bottles of wine and raffle a number of those. So you have numerous chances to win. If you decide you would like to have a ticket, I'm sitting right back here after. Or if you want to just give me your business card, I will come to your office and bring however many tickets you'd like. Thank you so much. October 9th at TPC, which is where we meet, TPC.
Thank you. Okay, at this time we'll have a short break for fellowship. Jamie, could you take the microphone over to Dave Thorson, please?
Good afternoon, Rotarians. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, they are holding a Rotary Leadership Institute seminar at the Windmill Library. I think it's $32 to enroll. You can do it through DACDB. Everybody that's been to this program has said that it's fabulous. I'm going to be one of the facilitators there. So if you are interested in getting some leadership training, this is a 3-part course, and this is the first part of the 3 parts. And it's next Saturday at the Windmill Library. Thank you.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone to Ginger Anderson, please?
Thank you, President Jim. Just wanted to remind you all about the club outing to the Utah Shakespeare Festival, September 7th and 8th. There is a discount code for tickets for shows that weekend. You'll get $4 off your ticket if you go to bard.org, buy your ticket, and put in the code Rotary2018, Rotary 2018. And Deb Granda has some fun fellowship plans. And hold on, pause and smile. Deb has some fun fellowship plans, dinner at one of the best restaurants in town, Chef Alfredo, on Friday night, and she'll be hosting fellowship at her rented home on Saturday. So sign up in the Green Book.
Thank you. Will you take the microphone to Marie Walsh, please? Marie's going to talk to us about Breakfast with Books.
Thank you, President Jim. You all should have received a little email from me yesterday. And it regarded having a little bit of knowledge for Breakfast with Books. Now, we have a lot of wonderful new members and members that are seasoned that have never been to Breakfast with Books. So I'm holding a small meeting after the regular meeting on the 23rd, which is next Thursday, and I would like to explain what we are all about. Meanwhile, if there is anyone that cannot make this and would like to ask me any questions, I'm always available. And just a reminder, the first Breakfast with Books is September the 11th. Thank you. Non-Rotarians? Sure, if they give me a call or let me know who they are. Absolutely. We love everybody.
And that's a great idea and a great way to bring friends to let them know what Rotary is all about. If you bring them to some of our events, it's always helpful. Just as a reminder, on the August 25th is the fantasy football draft. And if you're interested in doing our fantasy football league, please sign up in the book, which is going around. Will you take the microphone to Kim Yoni, please?
Good afternoon. So next Thursday, August 23rd, the 25 Club is hosting a social and a graduation for some of our members at Bangor Brewing Company. Bangor is located right next to the world-famous Heart Attack Grill in downtown Las Vegas. So you can have beer and then go get a heart attack after that if you want to. And it will be a nice time to get together and fellowship. So I encourage you, 5:30 to 9, next Thursday, 8:23. Thank you.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone to Jim Hunt, please?
I don't know where you are. Oh, it's him. Oh, the three amigos. Look at you guys.
Thank you very much. This is a save the date for you for October 5th. We are hoping, if not by then, that we say goodbye to the summer heat, and we'll be out on the patio of Tom and Jane Krob's beautiful home at TPC for our cigar fellowship for the fall. So mark your calendars for Friday, October the 5th, for our next cigar social. Thank you.
Thank you. Will you take the microphone to Janice Lenke, please?
Come up here. So we have some really exciting news about the drawing on September 27th.
Within the next week, you're going to receive a press release, and there is going to be someone in the community very influential who will be pulling the winning ticket that day. We also are going to invite media outlets to attend because of who we are inviting to pull the ticket. There will be no hosted guest on September 27th. Any guest, we ask that you help us to encourage people who've bought outside of this club the tickets to come and enjoy the event. It's not going to be a typical format that we do. Lunch is $30 to attend. What else? And of course, we want them to bring their ticket stubs, but if they can. We will have an MC, and we will have some beautiful showgirls for photo opportunities and just to really make it a special event. The fundraising committee will be in full force, and we will need additional volunteers to help greet. So there'll be some information going out on that. And for the membership committee and all of us, hopefully this is going to be such a drive. There'll be a lot of visitors coming, so we all want to be networking more than ever. And I can't remember what else. Oh, the wheel will also, of course, be its normal format, but we're going to have a couple special advertisements or something in the wheel to also commemorate the day of the event. So I will be in the back again to pick up your tickets, turn them in, and thank you for everyone who continues to support the event.
Thank you. And just so you know, the special person is not me.
No. Not a Rotarian.
September 8th, we're having Rotary Essential Training. It's going to be at the Railroad Pass Casino. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Rotary and how it works, I recommend that you come and enjoy it. Would you take the microphone over to Tom Thomas, please?
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
How are you?
Would you like to explain yourself and why you're being fined today?
I have absolutely no idea. Something I said or did?
Something you did, something for Spread the Word Nevada. Would you like to share that with the club?
Yeah, no, I'll share that with the club because it won't get me fined. My wife and I are just very honored to continue to support the efforts that this club makes in literacy. And so we once again have donated $12,500 towards our Spread the Word campaign to help support the club.
Thank you. And you know, working through the budgets and stuff, this is a huge donation, which allows us to year after year to support Spread the Word Nevada. So without Tom and Leslie's support, we probably wouldn't have been able to do it this year. So thank you very much from the club. Thank you. Okay, let's see, raffle time. The winning ticket for the right to draw a card is 509-4136. 4136.
Call by name
Yeah.
next time.
Call by name.
Yeah, say Tucker, he'll jump right up. All right, Michael, which one's the Joker? The one you picked. The one I picked. The Joker's standing right here. Yeah. Hold on, Rodney.
Okay, the 7 of clubs is out of the deck, and I apologize. Do you want to come up front, Janet? You left off one quick announcement. I am. This is halftime entertainment.
Yeah. That's a good compliment. Thank you, Jim. I just wanted to remind everybody that next Wednesday, the 22nd, is the orientation for our new members at Jerry Sinas' home. Jerry and David are donating the entire party for the whole deal. So we are encouraging you to please come, your spouse or a significant other and join us, because they do a really, really nice event every time they host something. So thank you so much, Jerry. 6 o'clock, Jerry's house. Please let Sean know. And Sean, sign up for it, right? And then Sean will provide the address for Jerry at that time. How many do we have thus far? Okay. All right. Anyway, don't forget. And also, just a reminder, you guys are ambassadors of this Rotary Club. And we always love to have new members. We've got some outstanding people that are checking us out this very week. So I encourage you to invite, your friends to join us, too, to see what Rotary is all about. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Has anyone, any table not received the Green Book? If so, would you raise your hand? Okay, we'll get the Green Book to you for sign up. Okay. Okay, now the drawing for the Lowry's Bucks, which this week has been sponsored by Bob Bernard. The number is 509-4157. 4157. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Ginger Anderson up to more formally introduce our speaker.
Thank you, President Jim. Our speaker today, Frank Mack, is the executive producer of the Utah Shakespeare Festival. He just took over that position in September of 2017, and so far he's already doing an outstanding job of building on the great foundation that Fred Adams laid 57 years ago at the Utah Shakespeare Festival. Frank has been involved in theater for over 37 years and in management since 1987. Before he came to Utah, he led the Connecticut Repertory Theater and taught arts administration at the University of Connecticut, where he also launched 2 graduate-level arts administration programs. He's also served as managing director at California Shakespeare Festival in Berkeley. That had to be fun. The Jiva Theater in Rochester, New York, New Jersey Shakespeare Festival, as well as a management consultant with several theaters and organizations. Frank is friendly, approachable, has a great business mind, and he loves making new friends. So be sure and say hi when you're in Cedar City in a couple weeks. Please welcome Frank Mack.
Thank you, Ginger. And thank you to everyone for inviting me here. It's a joy to be here. I'm a recovering Rotarian myself. I used to be a member in the East Bay of San Francisco when I was at the California Shakespeare Theater. So it's really a joy to be here. And before I have a little presentation I'll go through, but I always start by mentioning that I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be in Cedar City, none of the amazing stuff that happens at the Utah Shakespeare Festival would be happening without the vision of our founder, Fred C. Adams. Some of you may know Fred. He couldn't make it today, but he wanted me to send his regards. He's kind of a towering figure in the industry of professional and nonprofit theater nationally, and he created something very special in Cedar City, Utah. And I'm also just curious, how many folks have been to the Shakespeare Festival? All right, that's great. I love seeing that. And I think we have 3 former members of our Board of Governors here. Ginger Anderson, thank you. Tom Thomas, and I believe Tom Axtell. Thanks. I haven't met Tom, but thank you for being on our board. So I'll just go through a little bit and just try to share with you a little bit about what the Utah Shakespeare Festival is about. I know the Rotary is planning a trip September 7th, and I really hope everybody comes because it's really joyful. There we go. We're at the Beverly Taylor Sorensen Center for the Arts, which is at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. And I thought I'd start by just starting with a short video. I hope the audio works. That's Fred. That's Fred. That was King Henry, and this is Lady Macbeth. So that's what the Shakespeare Festival looks like. For those of you who hadn't seen it, it's really a beautiful sight. Cedar City's a lovely town, and you can see it's kind of a joyful place to come and immerse yourself in a Shakespeare performance. But we also do many different types of performance, not just Shakespeare. We do other classical theater and contemporary theater as well. And this is our mission. The Utah Shakespeare Festival presents life-affirming classic and contemporary plays in repertory with Shakespeare as our cornerstone. These plays are enhanced by interactive festival experiences which entertain, enrich, and educate. One of the key words in there is repertory. Everybody knows what we mean by repertory? No. Okay. So repertory is a way of producing theater where you open a whole bunch of plays at once. So we rehearse 6 plays, and we open them in 3 days. The reason we do that is because we're a destination theater, and if we were just doing one play at a time, a lot of people might not come all the way to Cedar City just to see one show and go home. But this way, as of 2 weeks from now, we'll have 8 plays going at once. So when you come to Cedar City, you can see a 2 o'clock, an 8 o'clock, a 2 o'clock, an 8 o'clock, and I'll talk also about all the other services we provide that are all free that include seminars, discussions, workshops, and interactions with the artists and the Green Show. When you saw the young people out there dancing and the people sitting on the lawn, we call that a Green Show, and that's free for everybody, and that happens before the outdoor theater performances at every time we have an outdoor theater show. But it's also big business. It's really quite a big operation, bigger than sometimes people recognize. The festival has about a $6.5 million annual budget, and it contributes approximately $35 million annually to the economy of Cedar City, Utah. So while it's loads of fun and the plays are great, and we certainly don't want anybody thinking about economic impact when the lights go down and Falstaff starts doing his thing, it is, for a group with a lot of business folks here, I think it's worth mentioning that this is actually it's a pretty big operation. You can see the number of people that are on our grounds in the evenings, and that's another shot of the Green Show, by the way. And we have about 300 seasonal employees and about 30 year-round staff members. So our seasonal employees are comprised. We use union artists. So AEA stands for Actors Equity Association. So our actors and stage managers are a member of the Professional Union for Actors. USA stands for United Scenic Artists. Those are our designers. They're all members of the union. And our directors are members of the Society of Directors and Choreographers. So it's very high-quality, professionally produced theater. And you can just tell by looking at it, that's a picture of the Green Show, that there's got to be a lot of economic activity because that's a lot of people in Cedar City gathering and that happens 6 nights a week. All of this is led artistically by a guy named Brian Vaughn, whom some of you may know. Brian started in the Green Show as a student at Southern Utah University in 1991. And he went away for a while. He worked in the company as an actor at Milwaukee Rep and various theaters across the country. And he's come back to lead the theater as its artistic director. So as the executive producer, my job is really administration, finance, marketing, fundraising, all the good stuff. Brian just gets to pick the plays and cast the actors. So he's got the dull job. But it's really quite an extraordinary job, and he's an extraordinary artist, and he leads the decision-making when it comes to all the artistic decisions, and as an arts organization, of course, those are the key decisions. And this is sort of what it looks like when the lights go down. This is from Merry Wives of Windsor, which is playing this year. I know Rotary is very committed to education, and so is the Utah Shakespeare Festival. It's part of our mission. We serve about 20,000 students in school every year with our Shakespeare in the Schools tour. We put together a 1-hour version of a play. Last year it was The Tempest. Next year it'll be Macbeth. We hire professional actors and we send them out on a tour. They go to 5 different states, including Nevada. And they'll be here in February at a bunch of schools. I think at, there's a Southern Nevada college that I'm not familiar with, but I know we're there. We'll be there, and schools will come to the college and see performances. We also have 3,500 high school students from all over the country, but principally from the West, who will come and compete in this Shakespeare competition we have every year. They'll do Shakespeare scenes, they'll do sonnets, they'll do design competitions, and they really want to win. It's quite an intense competition. And the winners get scholarships to Southern Utah University. We also do a whole variety, too many to mention here, of on-site education programs, acting classes, directing classes, classes for teachers to teach Shakespeare, etc. So very active in education. There we go. And there's some happy kids enjoying Shakespeare. And we also teach them violence. You can see that this is a stage combat class. They're practicing with pool noodles to begin with, and then they'll graduate to that scary stuff in the foreground. So when you come to the Shakespeare Festival, people come for an immersion experience. They come to Cedar City, which is a beautiful town. It's 20 degrees cooler than Las Vegas during the summer. It's at 6,000 feet elevation. There's pretty mountains all around. But in addition to seeing the wonderful plays we produce, there's all this other stuff going on. We start at 9 in the morning with a seminar talking about the plays we did last night. Then at 10 o'clock, we talk about some plays we're doing today. We have workshops on how we make props, how we make wigs and facial hair, how we make scenery and costumes. We have talkbacks with the actors in the seminar grove where audience members get to engage directly with the actors. We have this thing called Backstage Tour, which I have a little video that I'll show, and lots of cool workshops. And all of this is free. Actually, Backstage Tours and Rep Magic, those are $8 tickets, I should say. But the rest of everything else is free. And that's what the seminar grove looks like. And it's really just loads of fun to see a play and then talk about it with the audience the next day. And we have visiting scholars that will lead those conversations who are experts in Shakespeare and theater performance. This is what it looks like when we change over a play. Oops. Oh, okay. I didn't get the video to run. Let me see if I can try that again. Well, I'm not sure how to run that video, but it's just a time-elapse video of how we take one set. So the matinee comes down at 4:30, and we have an 8 o'clock show. So we have this huge group of people come in, rapidly change everything. They take one set, they put it away, they bring another set out, they change the lights, sound, everything. It's a massive changeover. It's kind of a show unto itself. So coming to the Shakespeare Festival is loads of fun. It's very unique. There are not many repertory theaters in the country. So there's lots of theaters that call themselves repertory theaters. I worked at Connecticut Repertory Theater. Pretty much every state has a repertory theater. But that reference to repertory, it means a canon of literature, a repertoire of literature. But in our case, it means rotating rep, where we change the plays. We do a different play. We'll often do 4 shows a day, 2 shows at 2 o'clock, change them both over, and do 2 shows at 8 o'clock. So that really is quite unique. We don't see that much anymore. There's a handful of repertory companies left in the United States. And it's brilliant. And I say that without being self-conscious because I didn't write the plays, Shakespeare did. And Shakespeare was brilliant. I think it's fair to say. His work is deep and entertaining and fun. It's bawdy. And above all, it's insight into who we are as people. Nobody, I don't think, has ever more successfully depicted the human condition than William Shakespeare. His plays are endlessly interesting, and his insights and his use of language are timeless. We have no idea how many phrases are in our common lexicon that were written by Shakespeare. I'll just give you one example. We're doing Othello right now, and there's a reference in there to jealousy as the green-eyed monster. Now, we hear the green-eyed monster as a cliche all the time. Thank you, William Shakespeare. He gave us a lot of those. And that's the other theater. That's our indoor theater, that's the Randall Jones Theater. And you can see, maybe you can barely see, there's a big Roman on the side. That was when we did Julius Caesar. And I just want to also say thank you again to Ginger Anderson for inviting me today. And this is what you'll see at the magnificent Cedar City Airport, which has 2 flights a day to Salt Lake City. Festival City, because it really is a city that's built around a festival. So thank you, and I think, were we okay on time to do a few questions? Great.
Fred Smith used to come here year after year after year to give us a presentation. I don't know how long ago that has gone back to, but I've been in this club 34 years, so at least 20 or 30 times.
Fred is amazing. As I said, he was a true visionary. Highway 15 was originally planned to go 30 miles north of Cedar City, and I believe in the early 1960s. Fred Adams just had the nerve, the chutzpah, to go up to Salt Lake City and to tell the whatever department that is, the department that makes highways, motor vehicles, or the highways division. But he went to Salt Lake City and he said, you need to bring Highway 15 through Cedar City because I'm going to build a Shakespeare festival there. And they believed him. And then he did it. So it really completely changed the future. So I will pass along to him your regards. And as I said, he has come here. He loves this Rotary and wanted me to pass along his regards today. Yeah, Fred is a terrific actor, director, and basically a visionary.
Well, what is the relationship between the Shakespeare Festival and the university?
So we're an auxiliary unit of Southern Utah University. We operate independently of the university in many ways. We don't grant degrees. We don't teach students at the university. But we're part of the university itself. So the organizational structure of the festival is that we have the staff of the festival. It's led by the executive producer, the artistic director principally, and its founder, Fred Adams. And we have a board of governors. The board is an advisory board to the university because the university only has one board. So our board functions like the board of other theaters. It approves our budget, approves our season, provides oversight, and helps us with fundraising. But the ultimate decisions are made by the president of the university. For example, the approval of our budget is recommended by our board, and the president of the university approves it. So we're on the university grounds. We're part of the university. We're all state employees, but we function a little bit separately. I report to the president, for example, of the university, and everyone who works there is part of the university. Does that sort of help? Yeah, the festival functions like a regional nonprofit theater company, and many of them are actually parts of universities, and nobody really knows because we don't really publicize that. It's not that we're trying to hide it, but it's just not really relevant to why you would want to come and see a show here. It's sort of an administrative structure. But many, many theater companies are either actually part of a university or connected to them. Most of the Ivies have professional theater companies with them. American Repertory Theater at Harvard, the McCarter Theater at Princeton, and so on. You'll see that it's a very common administrative relationship. It enriches the university. It fills part of the university's mission for public engagement, and the advancement of knowledge and so forth. But on the day-to-day operational basis, there's very little engagement that way, except, facilities. The university waters the plants, for example. A lot of the facilities stuff is done directly by the university. But in the rehearsal hall, Brian Vaughn is the artistic director, and the university plays no part in deciding, whether Hamlet wants to kill himself or not. That's up to Brian and the actor playing Hamlet. And Shakespeare, yeah. He has a line at the end, to be. Spoiler alert. Any other questions?
So this is your first year. You're new. You have perspectives from other states. You've described the program there. After a couple years, what kinds of changes do you think you'll bring, and what's on your dream list of what you wish you can bring to the experience in Cedar City?
So that's a big question, Tom. Thank you. For me, the first job is to make sure that the art is great, that William Shakespeare's voice and the voice of all the writers we're producing is loud and clear, and it's interesting, and it's fun and exciting for people to see it. So that means we have to build an administrative infrastructure behind it to make sure that the plays are good. So the purpose of the administration work is to make the plays better, always. And for me, that means fundraising, marketing, finance, administration. I've got to make sure that the festival is financially healthy. That means we need to have an operating surplus every year, because if we don't, like any other business, we would slowly perish or rapidly. So depending on the size of it, so you don't ever want to have a deficit. The festival has had some deficits, and we're currently forecasting a surplus for this year. And for me, that's the goal right now, is to make it financially stable, to build a solid foundation. We have a very small endowment, would love to see that grow. We don't have a lot of legacy giving or planned giving that I hope to see increase and build over time. And to build our base of donors. We have wonderful, wonderful supporters of the festival, people who are very committed to its long-term health and success. And so it's building and strengthening and sustaining those relationships to make the festival financially sound, so that Brian and the artists in the rehearsal hall have the resources they need to express their creativity as fully as they can.
How has Tuacan affected your business?
It's hard for me to say because I've been here about a year, but generally I think it's great, because there's a lot of research into arts attendance, why people go to the arts and why they don't. And one subcategory of that research has consistently shown the more arts are happening in a community or an area, the more people go to it. So arts organizations don't really compete with each other. What happens is, if there's a bunch of cool stuff happening in southern Utah, of all places, but there it is, now there's Tuacahn, which is doing some pretty incredible stuff on this massive scale in this beautiful environment, although it can be a little hot. It's actually, people don't tend to say, well, I'm not going to go to Shakespeare, I'm going to go to Tuacahn instead. That generally, I'm sure it happens sometimes, but it generally doesn't happen. What people tend to do is, there's some neat stuff in southern Utah, let's go to both. So we see more people crossing over who will go, they'll see a show in Tuacahn and stay in St. George, then they'll come 40 minutes up the road to Cedar City, see a bunch of shows with us. So I just think it helps. I just think it helps build the idea that Cedar City, St. George, southern Utah is a cool place to go for arts. We see a lot of nonprofits growing in Cedar City. Private galleries. There's another theater company there, the Neil Simon Festival, doing plays by Neil Simon and other contemporary writers. And people just kind of want to consume it all because they don't have to just pick one. So it's different than like consumer products where if you're shopping for toothpaste, you pick one tube of toothpaste and then you don't buy toothpaste again until you need it. Arts is different. You can go to both, and a lot of people tend to, and the more that's going on, the more people tend to go.
Thank you very much for coming. We greatly appreciate it. Before we go, I'd like to give you the Share What You Can award, which we will donate a meal to a needy veteran in your name. Thank you so much for coming and sharing the Utah Shakespeare Festival with us.
Great. Thank you, President Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome smile.
Thanks.
Thanks. As we leave here today, let's go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all persons. Love and serve each other. Rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Be people of action. Be the inspiration.